He's the GOAT.
He is the GOAT.
The GOAT of
indeed.
national anthem singers.
James,
are you ready?
It's time.
It is.
Jerry Gappins, thank you, sir. Thank you for everything that you have done the last 2 years here at Eldora Speedway, my friend. James, we have got the first of 6 15-lap heat races about to make its way on the track. They will be vying for starting spots 6, 7, and 13 in tonight's 53rd World 100. Tiffany, throw that lineup up. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for heat race number 1.
In their first World 100, one of these might make it. Both of them may make it. On the pole, 16 years old. He's out of Richmond, Indiana. It is Tristan Chamberlain. And on the outside, Rankin, Georgia's 18-year-old Hayden Cowan in the 214, Dustin.
Row number 2 on the inside out of Watertown, New York. In the number 39, it'll be the 2018 World 100 champ. It's going to be T-Mac Tim McCready. And on his outside out of Bloomington, Illinois in the 25, the high side hustler, Jason Feger.
2 second-generation racers in row 3, the number 99. His dad won this race 4 times. He's looking for his first win. Out of Dresden, Ohio, it is Devin Moran. And on the outside, the 2016 winner, the current World of Outlaws Series points leader. Out of Oakwood, Illinois, it is Bobby Pierce.
Moving back to row number 4 on the inside, we find the driver out of Verona, Kentucky in the number 11, James. That's going to be the 2-time Ralph Layton Memorial champ, Josh Rice. And on his outside, out of Jasper, Georgia, starting 8th in the 22R, it'll be Will Rowland.
Your next row will be the number 3s out of New Townsville, Tennessee. It is Austin Neely. And on the outside, driving a double nickel car this weekend, the 4G out of Camden, Ohio, it is Cody Evans.
6th row back on the inside, starting 11th, the former Chicago Bears draft pick out of Brimfield, Illinois. The 48 will be driven by Tim Lance, and on his outside, a 12-time winner this season. He's got a rally from the 12th starting spot out of Loudon, Tennessee. It's going to be Corey Hedgecock.
Inside of row 7, DJ, Ionium, Michigan's Travis Stimler. And on the outside, the 130, he's out of Kankakee, Illinois. It is Chase Osterhoff.
Jason Riggs scheduled to start inside row 8. He is a scratch. That means we'll have David Ellis out of Defiance, Ohio in the 17, and Dayton, Ohio's Donnie Jeske in the 99J. In all, 16 drivers set to run 15 laps. Again, the way they finish this heat race will determine starting positions 6, 7, and 13 in the 53rd World 100. And James, I cannot imagine the emotions going through that 16-year-old right there, Tristan Chamberlain.
Randy Weaver, a 16-year-old on the pole, an 18-year-old on the outside. Both have fared very well their first time here at the World 100. What was going through your mind when you were 18 and 16 years old? The most prestigious race in the world.
I know, man. That's unreal. Them guys, they could say whatever they want to, but nervous is an understatement right now. It might be, something at any other race, but you got a lot of hot shoes behind you that's going to be coming in a hurry. And when I always say this turn 1 is important, it's never more important than this right here.
Very good point, Randy. Glad to have you back here. This the expert analysis that he's given us here, and Mike and Ben and you. I mean, it's just been great.
Love working with
Tony.
you, brother.
Love working with you, brother. We're 14th consecutive year. Thanks to Tony and Jerry for their support. And, man, unbelievable crowd. And they might still be coming in. I don't know.
Just every
look
time
at that infield.
I know. Every time I look up, what was previously a hole has now been filled, Ben.
Guys, Earl would be proud. We might sell that one more hot dog tonight.
Yes, tonight might be the night that he finally sells one more hot dog.
Did we have a winner in the Earl Baltus lookalike contest? I know that was going on this week. I'll have to talk to JB.
Did you enter?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay.
But I did enter Dirt Draft, and you got to get your. Is it locked out? Are you locked out?
If it's not locked, it's going to be locked in within the next. If it's not locked now, it's going to be within the next 20 seconds. So there you go.
15 laps, my friend. And it's so a dichotomy. The winner starts 6th.
Yep.
Second place in this race starts 7th.
Yeah.
And third starts where?
There might only be one difference in starting spot in the 53rd World 100, but let me tell you what. There is a big difference in terms of emotion and momentum versus winning this heat race versus finishing second. James, The yellow lights have been turned off. 15 laps is the distance. Eldora Speedway, are you ready for the first heat race to get going here in the 53rd World 100? Chamberlain and Cowan bring them around to the green.
The top three advance into turn number 1. Feger will cut through the middle there as Tristan Chamberlain will take the lead down the back straightaway. Moran slips up at 2. Down the back straightaway, a couple of the cars get around him. Pierce and Moran as they come out of turn number 4. Richmond, Indiana's Tristan Chamberlain with the lead. Feger, McCready runs in third.
Jason Feger's been good here this weekend. Tim McCready in third, side by side, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. That's Josh Rice in fourth on the outside looking in. Hayden Cowan in fifth, and the Rum Runner Racing 214. The white 99, that's Devin Moran, and Bobby Pierce back there. Bobby Pierce just fell back to 8. James, he got passed by Austin Neely, and one car in the wall down in turns 1 and 2.
It's Hayden Cowan. Again, Bobby Pierce, if he didn't run in the top 3 in this one, he will be the first provisional. He will start 19th here tonight in the main event. But not a good start, Dustin, for Devin Moran nor Bobby Pierce in this race, and the caution is out of the racetrack.
You got to wonder if there might have been debris on the speedway, and I think there is. I think I just saw a piece of debris down in turns 1 and 2 where Hayden Cowan grabbed the wall, and that will bring out the yellow flag for the first time tonight. 3 laps scored, 12 laps remaining in heat race number 1. Again, this is the first of 6 heat races. 3 scored, 12 to go. 3 drivers transfer, and again, they're going for starting spots 6, 7, and 13 in the 53rd World 100. There's a good look at one of the Eldora Speedway safety vehicles. That must not be the one Ricky Thornton Jr. Hicks. It's got the left rear tail light is intact, but they pick up debris off the racetrack down in 1 and 2. Guys, down to you.
Imagine you're 3 laps in. There's 12 to go, Randy Weaver. You're 16 years old, and you're leading the first heat race. But it's a double foul restart, and we put Jason Feger alongside. What would you do?
Probably pull in, I guess. But no, they're doing a great job. But just on that start, talking about, the segment we done last time we was here about losing your air. I mean, Hayden Cowan, he's just got a lesson there on where you have to be. You can't let those guys come up across your nose. Twice he's lost it going into 1. That's what caused him to get into the wall. But I'm telling you, you can be young and fast, but that experience is going to prevail.
And we keep hearing about air. Imagine your first time here, guys. It's 3 down, 12 to go. First of 6 heat races here tonight.
And as you guys just mentioned, James, it is a double file restart. Double file restart, true double file, all the way until the end of every race here at Eldora.
And if we do have 1 lap to go in any race, it's 2 laps to go because we don't finish
Green, white
under.
checker.
Yes. Well, Richmond, Indiana is about 50 minutes away from here. Steve Casebolt, he won the Dirt Late Model Dream.
Yes,
Tristan's
yes,
dead. Dwayne was in how many worlds? He was in a couple maybe. We'll check on that. But Tristan Chamberlain, July, he turned 16. You have to be 16 years old to race here at Eldora Speedway. And right now, he has led the first 3 laps of this race. And again, it was not a good start for Moran or Pierce. Ben.
Real quick, Dwayne said that Tristan had no chance to be any more nervous than he is here tonight. Here we go.
Mark Saul and Big Snack are more nervous.
They might be. Green lights coming back on. We're back underway here in heat race number 1, and Tristan Chamberlain brings him back to the green. A good restart change for the 16-year-old.
Rice drifts up the track. They're trying to go 3 wide at turn number 2. Here comes Bobby Pierce, Tim McCready right there. Now Moran throws the slider on McCready. They might have made contact. McCready slides up the track. Here comes Austin Neely. Josh Rice right now in that 3rd spot. Josh Rice started back in 7th in that number 11 car. Man, they are going at it here in this heat 1. And Tristan Chamberlain off of turn number 4 leads at Eldora Speedway.
Could he make the World 100 in his first ever attempt? The 16-year-old second-generation driver at Richmond, Indiana right now is the Pied Piper at the head of the pack. You're looking back now on 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, and the caution is out as we've got 1 car in trouble over in turn number 2. 3 cars in trouble. Donnie Jeske in the 99J, Will Rowland in the 22, and that 48 there on the outside of him, that is Tim Lance out of Brimfield, Illinois, and that'll bring out the yellow flag for the 2nd time here in heat race number 1.
So 5 in the books, DJ. It'll be Chamberlain, Feger, Rice, and Josh Rice started back in 7th. It'll be Moran, Pierce, Neely, McCready. As again, we have 5 in the book. So again, if Pierce does not run in the top 3, he will start 19th here tonight.
And of course, that takes a potential points provision away from somebody else on down as well.
So the top 6 again after last night were Bobby Pierce, Chris Madden, Brian Shirley, Ricky Thornton Jr., Hudson O'Neill, and Brandon Shepard. Combined points from the last 2 nights. Did you see Donnie Jeske down there, the Dayton, Ohio driver, former sprint car and stock car driver here? They bought that off the best performance team, the 99 car. Debuted at Florence back in August. Tim Lance moving away as well in 48.
So 5 laps are now complete. 10 laps remain.
You guys, Hayden Cowan down here. Filler panel on the front completely caved in. He's got damage back there to the spoiler. We'll see if he makes his way back out, but his World 100 could be ending here in heat race number 1. Tough one, man. As Randy said, learning experience here for the youngster out of Georgia. But I tell you what, he has shown a lot of talent this weekend.
Yeah, in that rum runner car, Harold Holly, the veteran NASCAR crew chief.
Now remember, too, guys, that, again, we mentioned the top 3 transfer to the World 100. Right. They'll start 6th, 7th, and 13th. 4th through 11th goes to the B main. If you finish 12th on back, you're done for the night unless if you were one of the 2 highest points drivers that finished 12th on back, they're going to get an opportunity to tag the tail of a B main later on this evening if they so choose.
And Cowan was 25th in the points.
And I'll say this, I asked my opinion about this a few weeks ago from here at Eldora, and I said, man, how many times have we seen guys come from deep in the B's to get a transfer spot? And he said, that's exactly what Jerry and I were thinking, and we could see that tonight, and it could keep somebody's chances alive for a World 100 Globe.
Well, we'll talk to the winner after this race. Again, the top 3 will advance. It's Tristan Chamberlain, Jason Feger, Josh Rice, your top 3 right now. Moran and Pierce trying to come back after a rough start to this race.
Tristan Chamberlain wanted nothing more probably than this thing to go green to checker, and he's had 2 cautions to endure in the first 5 laps of this one. To go back green flag racing this time in the restart zone in turns 3 and 4. Chamberlain again will choose the inside lane. That'll put Feger outside. 5 scored, 10 to go in World 100 heat race number 1.
Think how many videos he's watched of the World 100 and the best. Devin Moran, great restart of the 99 through the middle. On the outside, here comes Jason Feger, the current Mars Championship points leader, and he'll take the lead from Chamberlain. Devin Moran back in 3rd. Josh Rice is 4th at the line. New leader, and it's Jason Feger out of Bloomington, Illinois.
Jason Feger trying to put the 25 car in the show. That'll shuffle Tristan Chamberlain back to 2nd. Devin Moran now in 3rd. Will Rowland off the pace on the front straightaway. He may have a flat tire on that car, and the caution flag is out.
Not going to make it off the track.
So already 3 cautions into this first heat race. I think that is more cautions in one heat race than we had in all the heat races combined leading up to tonight.
Well, I'm going to blame one of my camera guys down there, Adam Martz. He said, I hope it's not like heat 1 of the Sprint Car Million, which we had a lot of accidents in, a lot of cautions. But right now, man, you got to think, how many times can you give Jason Feger the outside? And Tristan was exactly where he needed to be. But the guy's name's the High Side Hustler, and you're giving it to him here at Eldora. He's having the best year he's had in several years. 13 wins, the Mars point leader, the Dirt Car National points leader. And you know what? Feger says, boys, I'll keep this outside groove for this restart.
And Ben, also Moran and Pierce now 3rd and 4th after a rough start to this race.
Yeah, I mean, those guys are fighting back there. Meanwhile, Will Rowland, he has got a flat right rear. They're going to get that tire changed on the Jasper, Georgia driver, try to get him back out there. But yeah, McCready got shuffled back earlier trying to get his feet back under him. And Devin Moran, it looked like for a minute he might go to the lead on that last restart, but not quite able to get there. And don't look now, but Bobby Pierce, he said he doesn't want a provisional. He's trying to work his way into one of those top 3 spots.
Yeah, Moran, he was it second? No, he got beat on the last lap, last night in one of the preliminary nights, right?
Devin Moran?
Devin Moran.
Well, I know a website.
DirtOnDirt.com.
It's called
DirtOnDirt.com.
Yeah.
You know, the beauty of the World 100, you've got the driver out front, former Dirt Car Summer Nationals champion, and Jason Feger. We talked about leading the Mars Points Regional Series. You got a 16-year-old in 2nd. You got a driver from the Lucas Oil Series in 3rd. The World of Outlaws point leader back there in 4th. And Josh Rice, who's going to probably knock part of the spoiler and part of the deck out any night, but he's going to get one of those 12 wins he's had this year. It's just the beauty of Eldora and all these guys that you don't always get to see race together.
So Jason Feger, the Titan Industries, Hoker Trucking, Floyd's Waste Systems, number 25. Get on the double file restart. We do that all the way through here tonight in the heat races, B mains, and the World 100. So to be Feger, Chamberlain, Moran, Pierce, Rice, Neely, McCready is 7th. And it's Hedgecock, Osterhoff, and Travis Stimbler right now in 10th. So the top 3 to the World 100, 4th through 11th, will go to the first B main of the night. A bunch of them up there.
And it looks like Will Rowland's night is done, James, as he is circling back into the infield pit area. So his race is finished. We'll get back underway this time. 6 laps scored, 9 laps to go. Jason Feger chooses the high side and brings him back to the green. He's trying to bring Devin Moran with him on this restart.
Good restart for Feger. Moran to go to the outside, and he'll try to nose it down to the bottom, down the back straightaway. He'll have a run on the 20 TC, then Pierce behind him in the Rice. They go into 3. Devin Moran throws it in. Ohio and Indiana going side by side, and Moran takes second spot, Dustin.
Devin Moran takes it momentarily. Tristan Chamberlain went to tuck in line in 3rd, and now Bobby Pierce says, I don't want your provisional. I want to race my way into the show. So the driver out of Oakwood, Illinois, and winner of 2 prelims will drive under Tristan Chamberlain and take that 3rd and final transfer spot, this time at the stripe.
And Rice and Neely behind them. Boy, it's a struggle for Tim McCready way back there in 8th for the former World 100 winner, but out in front, the Bloomington, Illinois veteran, 45 years old and at turn number 1. He has had a comeback year here in 2023. And right now, 6 laps to go in this race, in control over Devin Moran and Bobby Pierce.
Jason Feger looking solid out front this time by Rob Penrod. Shows 5 flanges in the air, 5 to go. For the high side hustler, Jason Feger, a 1.4 second advantage for the Bloomington, Illinois driver over the white 99 of Devin Moran, the red 32 of Bobby Pierce sits in 3rd and on the bubble. If Pierce stays in that 3rd spot, James, he would start 13th. If he's able to get by Moran, he would start 7th in the World 100.
Yeah, and that position's going to go down to the end right now. The fastest car that last time around was Pierce as they come off of turn 4. Now we got a battle for 2nd into 1. Moran at 99, Pierce at 32. They go door to door, and Moran has the spot as they get around the 17 to David Ellis, and that opens it up for Jason Feger up at turn 4. 2 to go to make the World 100.
And that move right there you just saw by Devin Moran around the lap car of David Ellis. That spoiled a little bit of air on the 32 of Bobby Pierce. Pierce lost some ground on the 99, but then is able to close back in. This happens 2 seconds behind your race leader, Jason Feger. James White flags out final time around.
Yeah, close call for Tristan Chamberlain trying to get around Ellis. Right now they turn number 2 down the back straightaway. It is all Jason Feger. 2.6 seconds, and the veteran out of Bloomington, Illinois, pending post-race tech. He will be in the World 100. 2nd spot to go to the 99 of Devin Moran. 3rd will be Bobby Pierce. 4th, Tristan Chamberlain. 5th is Josh Rice. 6th, Austin Neely. 7th, Corey Hedgecock. 8th, Tim McCready. 9th will be Cody Evans. And then 10th will be Travis Stimbler. 11th, Chase Osterhoff. Donnie Jeske. 12th, and David Ellis. Your rundown. So the top 3 will go to the scales, DJ, to make it official. Grabbing 3rd will be the 32 out of Oakwood, Illinois, Bobby Pierce. 2nd of the 99 out of Dresden, Ohio is Devin Moran. And your winner in the Titan Industries Hoker Trucking Floyd Place Systems, Rosser Battery, Griffin Signs, Digital Copy Systems, Remtech Enterprises, Cheap Car, Shavers Oil, the Big Cheese. Out of Bloomington, Illinois, how about it for the high side hustler, Jason Feger.
Jason Feger, 7 starts on the World 100. His best finish of 4th back in 2014. He's going to try to get a globe for the land of Lincoln here tonight as he picks up the win here in heat race number 1. The crew is fired up. Jason Palyabicki and everybody down here. Austin, the team, man, they are fired up. And Jason's got a big smile on his face. Jason, how about those apples? You didn't just win your heat race. You won by a straightaway. You're going to start 6th World 100. What are the emotions like right now?
A lot of relief. We've been on a pretty big dry spell here. We can't even hardly make a qualifier race, let alone to make all 3 features in one weekend. So, man, it just feels amazing. I thank Longhorn Chassis, Clements Power, Bilstein Shocks, everybody that helps me. Couldn't do this without Titan Digital Copy Systems. I want to say hi to my grandma at home. We love you, Grandma. I know she's there watching, cheering us on. And thanks, my crew, for busting butt. We've been a little off on the feature setup. We haven't been bad, but we haven't been good enough to win. So we're going to go to the drawing board and give me a long 100 laps and hope we're up to it.
Eldora, he can hear you. Let him hear it. Jason Feger wins heat race number 1.
Thanks a lot, guys. Hey, real quick announcement here to the house. Jason Raymond Berg, you need to go to the sheriff's trailer. They have something that belongs to you. Jacob Raymond Berg. Jacob Raymond Berg, you need to go to the sheriff's trailer in the main lot. Jacob Raymond Berg, go to the sheriff's trailer in the main lot, please. They have something that belongs to you. James, in heat race number 1, your transfer cars came from 4th, 5th, and 6th. All three overcame the invert heat 2 on the track.
It'll be Michael Brown. He's out of Beaufort, South Carolina. In the Mark McLeod Racing 24D, and on the outside, the World 100 winner here in 2005, and the Shane McDowell Racing 17M out of Chickamauga, Georgia. It's Mac Daddy Dale McDowell.
Second row back on the inside, in the number 10 out of Milton, Florida. It's going to be Joseph Joyner, and on his outside, the defending World 100 champion out of Blairsville, Georgia, in the 49, Superman Jonathan Davenport.
Shannon Babby's out of Moweaqua, Illinois, inside of row number 3, and on the outside, it is tribute to his late grandfather. In the 87 out of Great Court, South Carolina, it is Chris Madden.
Fourth row back on the inside out of Lincolnton, North Carolina. In the Bazooka Base Tubes throwback 00, it is Carson Ferguson. And on his outside, out of Evans, Georgia, in the Bruce Kane Racing 15, Little Sexy Cody Overton.
The Coleman Farms 1C. He is out of Colbert, Georgia. That is Kenny Collins in the 96V, the Sean and Lisa Martin Viperist management car. Out of Benton, Kentucky, it's Tanner English.
Hebron, Kentucky's Josh Dietz is in the Winley Motorsports number 9. Mohawk, Tennessee's Brad Dyer is in the 0. Your final starters, John Hodgkiss in the 69, Kirk Phillips in the 21, John Tweed in the 5, Justin Cooper in the 00, and Jeff Robertson in the P3. 17 cars, 15 laps. James, the top 3 finishers will start 5th, 8th, and 14th in the 53rd running of the World 100.
At the start zone in turn number 4, we are underway. Michael Brown, the Mark McLeod Racing 24D, the Black Crest Farms, Piggly Wiggly entry. Gone to the Davenport. Looking to tie Billy Moyer with 6 wins. You got to get in the race first. Right now, he runs in second. In the Nutrient Solutions 49, Dale McDowell is third, Chris Madden is fourth. So Michael Brown leads the grizzled veterans down the back straightaway. Davenport, McDowell, and Madden, and Michael Brown looking good so far up at turn 4, Dustin.
Michael Brown out front in this one at the end of lap number 2, but he's got Jonathan Davenport, winner of 5 of the last 8 World 100s, hot on his heels. Those two drivers have a little bit of a gap between what's turning into a good battle for third, James, between the 17M of Dale McDowell and the 87 of Chris Madden. Just off your screen, those two are going at it for the final transfer spot.
And into Dryden 87. McDowell, he goes 17 him down the back straightaway. It's about 3 car lengths the advantage, and the caution is out. We got a wreck in turn 1 and 2, and it's Kenny Collins, John Tweed, John Hodgkiss, and on the bottom there,
so maybe Kirk Phillips. No,
Kirk Phillips.
It is not.
So John Hodgkiss, former Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania Motor Speedway track champion in his first race of the 2023 season. A lot of damage on the front of that car. So we'll check out Kenny Collins up there, the Coleman Farms entry.
Was Carson Ferguson.
Oh,
wow.
Or that Bazooka Base Tubes throwback to Freddie Smith, the GVS team. And he's got a lot of heavy damage on that race car.
Yes, he sure does. A lot of damage here, and you can see a little bit of fluid has come out from maybe underneath of it there as well. Safety team Johnny on the spot. As there's Kenny Collins, 1C, sitting at the top of the racetrack. Guys, quickly, we'll send it down
John
to you.
Hodgkiss rolling down, the Pennsylvania hole driver running down there to the attention of his crew. He's got a lot of front-end damage there for Hodgkiss. We'll get down here to turn 1 and survey.
Well, James, we got at least one look here at the replay to see maybe what happened to cause this caution flag with 3 laps scored in heat race number 2. As it already happened right there, Ferguson and Kenny Collins getting together. John Tweed had already committed to his line in the corner. And again, when that happens, man, it just... things happen so quickly in dirt track racing in general, but especially here at Eldora.
Well, we saw that happen to Brandon Overton twice at the Dirt Late Model Dream here back in June, but heavy damage on Carson Ferguson's cars. They're still talking to him down there. The 2-time Spring Nationals champion.
All right, well, James, we're going to step aside here for those watching at home on FloRacing while they get the accident site cleaned up. This is the 53rd running of the World 100 here at Eldora. We're under caution with 3 laps into heat race number 2. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the final night of racing here at Eldora for the 53rd World 100. We are in heat race number 2. 3 laps are complete. 12 laps remain. Look, James, there's our names up on the screen, and there's also a look at Kenny Collins, number 1C, that Coltman Farms entry, getting towed off the racetrack after a hard accident down in turn number 2 involving Connor Ferguson. Carson Ferguson, excuse me, not Connor Ferguson, not always race day. Sorry, Connor. Carson Ferguson, John Tweed, and Johnny Huck, John Hodgkiss, among the drivers involved in this latest accident here in heat race number 2.
Again, both drivers climbed out of their cars. They are okay. Took a while to get Carson Ferguson out. Yes.
Guys, I got a chance to talk to one of the crew members from Carson Ferguson. They said he simply just jumped the cushion and got into the wall, and then melee ensued behind that. But again, Carson, the best news, okay.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mike. Chris Madden right now in 4th. If he doesn't make it out of the C race, he will get that first top point man provisional.
And the good news is for Brian Shirley, at least, he is now guaranteed a starting spot in the World 100, James, because the top point man, Bobby Pierce, raced his way in. That means Chris Madden and Brian Shirley would be the next 2 drivers in line to get those high points provisionals if they do not race their way in out of their heat race. Again, that first heat race, invert didn't matter. The drivers that started 4th, 5th, and 6th raced their way to the front in 15 laps.
Michael Brown started from the pole. He's an old World 100 rookie in that 24D car. in the South Carolina native, 30 years old. Mark McLeod, the car owner. And Jonathan Davenport in second. And again, Dale McDowell third. Chris Madden is fourth. Well, we talked about Trent Ivey the other night and the talent he beat in his heat race. What about Michael Brown? What kind of interview could we have here in a little bit? Now, I know we've only run 3 laps, but, man, you beat Davenport, McDowell, and Madden at Eldora?
I talked to someone about that earlier, and I had a couple heat races circled on my list earlier today when I was kind of getting some notes in line, and this was one of them. And I kind of thought the same thing. I mean, you have got arguably 3 of the most consistent drivers at Eldora in the last 10 years or so in McDowell, Madden, and Davenport. So, I mean, if you're Michael Brown, Joseph Joyner, or some of these other ones in this heat race, man.
How about Piggly Wiggly?
Yes. How about the Piggly Wiggly?
You been to that grocery supermarket?
I've been to a Piggly Wiggly before.
You have?
Yes, I have.
All right. Black Crest Farms, 24D. There's the Nutrient Solutions 49.
Nice job highlighting the sponsors on that wrap there on Jonathan Davenport's
the Dry
car.
Dean 87, yep. And then the Easy Go Team Zero car of Scott Bloomquist. Madden in a Longhorn this weekend.
And again, if you're tuning in tonight for the first time this weekend, Chris Madden, that is a throwback to his grandfather's car. One of the first cars his grandfather raced, which looked like that, and was a white and blue number 87. There's John Hotchkiss, the Robinson Township, Pennsylvania driver, with damage on the nose of his race car. Guys, will send it to the infield.
Yeah, a lot of race cars got torn up in that one. And, yeah, Papa Stan, grandfather of Chris Madden, passed away back in '84. And he was a car owner. I thought that he had raced, but I was talking to Chris's mom yesterday, and she was telling me he actually just owned the car. He built Lawrence County Speedway down there in South Carolina, and big involvement. They've wanted to do it for a long time. They just felt like this was the year. Chris, even though what Randy says, he maintains that even if he wins tonight, he'll go back to the 44. But I think we could see the 87 forever. We were joking with Mark Richards. He's usually on the front where Richie Stevens is at, that if they won the World 100, that blue hauler would park back there forever as well. Now, he did not deny it, so it turns out racers are a little superstitious.
So, to clarify, Ben, Madden's I was under the understanding that Madden's grandfather actually raced himself. You're saying that Chris' mom told you he did not, but he was a successful car owner.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
that's what I learned. I thought he raced as well, and Chris's mom told me yesterday that he did not, and it was an honor to get to meet her, because as quiet as Chris is as much as, well, she likes to let you know how it is. It was fun. It was a good conversation, and I really enjoyed it.
All right, man, that's why we love this stuff. Well, Michael Brown's going to pick the outside on Jonathan Davenport.
That's interesting.
On the double file.
Very interesting.
Restart, 3 down, 12 to go. Heat number 2 here tonight.
I'm curious, Randy Weaver with Jonathan Davenport.
Well, look, now watch this.
Okay.
Look.
Oh, there you go. Never mind.
Randy Weaver, he pulled the old switcheroo on us there, RW.
Ooh.
Dream, what do you think about it?
Yeah, guys, it's a mind game here, but again, it goes back to this experience. I can't say it enough. That those next 3 cars there has got a lot of laps, a lot of wind.
Randy, it's racing. None of these guys play mind games. What are you talking
That
about?
would be a team zero. That would be a team zero move right there.
Yeah, Scott's down here walking around the pits playing more mind games than anybody, so nobody plays games.
Here we go. 3 laps scored, 12 laps remaining in heat race number 2. They're vying for starting spots 5, 8, and 14. Michael Brown on the inside brings them back to the green.
Well, Jonathan Davenport is the master of restarts. That time he goes to the top. Out of turn number 2, he has the momentum down the back straightaway. Brown cannot shut the door, and Davenport is going to take the lead. Madden now as Dale McDowell. Not a good restart for the 17M, Dustin Garrett.
Well, no, Dale McDowell's not going to transfer out of his heat race. He's going to finish in the top 10 tonight's World 100 by coming from about 21st or so. Meanwhile, John Tweed is off the pace over in turns 3 and 4, and that will put the caution out yet again.
We did get a lap in, so 4 complete. And we'll go to the double file. So Davenport and Brown will back to side by side. But Ben and Randy, not a good restart for Dale McDowell. He's back to 5th.
No, he did not get one whatsoever there. And now he finds himself on the outside looking in. And right now, 1 spot out. Cody Overton in the 15K. We saw him have a strong run up at Port Royal with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series a few weeks ago. 9 wins on the year, all in crate action. As John Tweed, the Greenville, Tennessee driver, will bring the number 5 down. and he's got significant damage on that right rear of that race car. It's like he got into the concrete. But yeah, not a good restart for McDowell, but a driver that did get a good restart, and he is now your leader. How many Jonathan Davenport fans in the house as the 49's gone to the front of the pack?
A few.
One or two.
One or two.
He's
Cody.
won 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of these World 100s too, and he's trying to. I mean, that's crazy, guys. We talked about it on Late Model Live with Michael Rigsby earlier this week. Billy Moyer's won 6 of these. He won his 6th one when he was 52 years old, 52 years, 10 months old. Jonathan Davenport is 39 years old, and he is trying to tie a record that we really thought would never be matched, much less a chance to break it. And JD's got a chance to match it here tonight.
And again, he will not turn 40 until the end of October, the week after the Dirt Track World Championship here on the 31st of October. So Brown is second, Madden is third, Cody Overton and the Bruce Kane Racing 15 will be fourth.
Dustin Jarrett, do you want to share with everybody what you found on Wikipedia after the dream?
So after the dream on Wikipedia, someone had changed the Wikipedia entry for Eldora Speedway and had changed the owner from Tony Stewart to Jonathan Davenport after Jonathan Davenport won another Globe here back in June.
Well, he's won
Fair.
Well, he won the dream. He won the dream back in
For the
June.
dream,
but
yeah,
yes.
not the world. Yes, the dream back in June, yes.
He's
Not
won
the
two
first
dreams.
time I've messed that up.
He won the Eldora Million last year, and then he won the Intercontinental Classic here in 2020.
So
and Logan Schuhart thanked him for not entering the sprint car million.
So you're saying
He was on stage for Logan Schuhart to win.
Yes, he was. Yes,
All right,
he
here we
was.
go. Who's this guy in the flip-flops, right?
That's right.
That's what Logan was saying. All right, Davenport and Brown off at turn 4. Here's the restart. 4 down, 11 to go in heat 2.
Look at Chris Madden, a good restart there. Not a good restart for Michael Brown as they fanned out 3 wide back there for the third spot. Davenport with the whole shot down the back straightaway. Madden in second. Michael Brown able to rebound on the back straightaway. Get that third spot back away from Dale McDowell. Mac Daddy, though, trying to dive down the inside and take it away. 5 laps scored James. 10 laps to go. We look back on the battle for the final transfer.
Tanner English trying to make his first World 100 in the 96V. Now Madden trying to track down Davenport. 2 of the best here at Eldora. In the 1, Michael Brown looking for his first start in the World 100 down the back straightaway. Here comes Shannon Babbitt, Tanner English, and Cody Overton. But right now, and the caution is back out again with 6 laps scored.
We've had good racing in the heat and a half that we've had so far. If we could just get some green flag laps strung together.
The track's good.
Track's really good right now. Yeah.
Apparently debris down here in turn 1.
Barney Craig going to pull the Eldora Speedway pace truck back out, who'll pick up the field momentarily. So you were right. We did sneak another couple laps in. Davenport, Madden, Brown. Now the top 3. McDowell on the outside looking in. He runs 4th, and Cody Overton sits in 5th.
Tanner English 6th, and Shannon Babb, Josh Dietz, Kirk Phillips, and
good.
Joseph Joyner.
Good run for Josh Dietz, James, the former Crate Late model standout from Hebron, Kentucky.
Well, Joseph Joyner won a heat race here last night, but right now he is struggling. He started 3rd, back to 10th. Still time to get up there. 6 laps, still 9 to go in this race. So now Madden, for the first time, he'll restart on the front row. McDowell back in it right now in 4th. He'll line up alongside Michael Brown. And then Cody Overton and Tanner English. As the Eldora pace truck leads them down here, Rob Penrod, Rick Monroe on the flag stand. We'll go green next time around, Dustin.
Great shot there from the drone as the field parades around the track. Again, the winner of this second heat race starts 5th. In the World 100, the driver that finishes 2nd, he will roll off 8th later on tonight. And the driver that finishes 3rd in this heat race will start 14th. The drivers that finish 4th through 11th will go to a B main. And the drivers that finish 12th on back will be done for the night unless they are one of the 2 high point guys that did not transfer in. Davenport going to choose the inside lane. He leaves the outside lane for Chris Madden. James, we're back underway here in heat 2.
Not a good restart for Michael Brown. English to the outside. McDowell's moved to 3rd. Here comes Tanner English. He started back in 10th. His father's made this race before. Terry English, Cody Overton up top, but out front it's Davenport and Madden McDowell, the top three in a turn one.
Jonathan Davenport, so good here at Eldora over the years. Right now, this heat race, James, looks like a repeat of last year's Eldora Million with Davenport and Matt running 1-2. McDowell, as you'd mentioned, has now got the third spot auto himself. And how about Tanner English from 10th to 4th, James?
Doing a good job. Michael Brown fading here in the 24D after leading here early on and starting on the pole. Right now, the top three well secured. Overton, he'll slide in front of Babb. He and the Weekwah Missile going back and forth. Cody Overton up another spot.
James back up at the front of the field. Chris Madden has actually closed in on Jonathan Davenport here in the last couple laps. Davenport, his lead was 0.8 of a second 2 laps ago. Madden has sliced away at that in the last 2 laps. It was 0.5 this last time by with 5 to go.
Track is still awful fast. They go to the bottom, out at turn 4. Last time, as you mentioned, it was 0.5 of a second. This time, it's back to 0.7. As he lost 0.2 of a second down the back straightaways, they'll pick up the tail of the field here with Jeff Robertson. But McDowell is still solid in third, but Madden losing contact with JD off at turn 4 with 3 to go.
And Jonathan Davenport's turned up the wick the last couple laps. James stretched out that advantage back to 0.8 of a second over the driver out of Great Court, South Carolina, as Josh Dietz is off the pace on the front straightaway. A top 10 run for the Hebron Kentucky driver, and he's not going to make it to the pit area, James. He slides to a stop near the inside wall, and that will put us under caution with 2 laps to go, and that completely changes the complexion of this race.
As Dietz puts the steering wheel on there, the Florence, Kentucky driver up from the crate division.
Did not get that lap in, so it'll actually be 3 to go. 12 laps officially in the books here in heat number 2. 3 laps remain. Davenport, Madden, McDowell running 1, 2, and 3.
How about Shannon Babb? Shannon Babb had fallen back, 7th or 8th. He's back to 4th in that 18 car. So it'll be English, Brown, Overton, Kirk Phillips trying to make his first World 100. So now Madden and Davenport will line up side by side.
Looks like Josh Dietz going to require the assistance of a wrecker to make his way off the track. Again, 12 down, 3 remaining here in heat race number 2 for the 53rd World 100.
Well, if you think the drivers get impatient to get these races over, you should see some of the crew, some of Chris Madden's crew, less than thrilled to see that caution come back out, because while he wasn't right at the moment going to go to the lead in second, and that's just a big part of the battle, getting into the feature, having it in one piece, and going to work on it. Randy, you're watching this racetrack right now. From the past couple nights to what you see now, what does it look different to you at this point in the night from what you saw the past 2 nights?
Well, I'm still waiting on that sunshine to show up like it's supposed to today. It's getting pretty chilly down here, which is keeping a lot of moisture, makes the air really good. So I noticed some teams earlier, they was, changing jets. Anytime this air is this cool, they, get a lot more air, so you got to put a lot more fuel to a lot more horsepower. But track-wise, we're just now starting to see a little black streak getting into one. The other night, even last night, it was way earlier. So I feel like it's going to be really good later on. Something talking about the crew's nervous, just like we talked about. McDowell had one bad restart, fell back. The next one he didn't. That's why these guys are so nervous on these restarts. You make one mistake, you're right out of the show.
All great points, Randy. Thank you for that. As we get set to get this one back underway, 3 laps remain. And Jonathan Davenport wants the bottom, Chris Madden to the outside. And guys, it feels like these two have spent a lot of time awful close to each other at the big races at Eldora over the past few years.
Andy Weaver, I got a question. I think Davenport is the best at restarts since we've seen with Scott Bloomquist, right? I mean, those 2 guys there.
Yeah,
2 of the best.
He's really good at that. He's good at saving his tires and, trying to keep those edges where you can take off. But got really good equipment too, so we'll see what happens.
All right, on the restart, here we go. As we start lap 13, they're 3 wide almost into 1. Tanner English on the bottom, and they are 3 wide into 2. Babb up top, and McDowell got squeezed out down. Shannon Babb, look at this, the 18 car. The Weekwah Missile's got a good hot rod up at turn 4. Up front is Davenport and Madden, but here comes Babb, doesn't it?
Shannon Babb on the move in the 18. The Weekla Missile looking like the Bab of old, running the high side down in turns 1 and 2. He's got a good run down the back straightaway on Chris Madden. This happens 7/10 of a second behind your race leader, Jonathan Davenport. White flags out, final time around.
Well, Bab trying to look for a way around Madden. Here they come out of turn number 2. Here's Willow get the run. Down the back straightaway. Madden looks too tough, though. Right now, he's 3 car lengths ahead, and it's all Jonathan Davenport. He will start 5th in the World 100.
He gets the win in heat race number 2. Chris Madden holds on to finish 2nd, and Shannon Babb will finish in 3rd. James, another heat race where 4th, 5th, and 6th come up to transfer in the main event. Tanner English gets 4th, and Dale McDowell finishes 5th. So the 3rd and final transfer spot belongs to Shannon Babb. He will start 14th in the World 100, starting 8th in the World 100 and finishing 2nd in that heat race, the 87 of Chris Madden, and there's your winner. He wins heat 2. He will start 5th in tonight's main event. In the Lance Landers Racing, Nutrient Ag Solutions, Dyna Grow Seed, ASC Warranty, sponsor number 49. How about a round of applause for Superman Jonathan Davenport?
Jonathan Davenport, 10 times he started the World 100. 5 of them he's won. He'll go for 6 tonight to match only Billy Moyer with 6 wins. A 13-time winner this year is Jonathan Davenport, including the SRX win he had at Lucas Oil Speedway. That was a big one for that driver. Picked up the Hillbilly 100 win back on Sunday night. 3rd in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series standings as he goes after his 3rd title with that series. And he brings the Nutrient Ag Solutions number 49 a Longhorn down the Lance and Darla Landers Motorsports entry. And some people were joking it was a Jason Feger lookalike. Well, we saw Jason Feger in a similarly colored car kick butt in the first heat. You came to life in the second one. Maybe green is the color of money. It's good luck tonight. JD, you've been chasing the track a little bit this weekend, but what have you found here tonight?
It's just, you know, you just got to play the game here. That's how it goes. We just want to be set up good for tonight. Tonight's when it pays the most. So we just get working on our stuff throughout the weekend because obviously the racetrack's different than it has been in 3 or 4 years. So anyway, we'll just take what they give us and keep working on this thing. We feel like we've got a pretty good hot rod there, so now we ain't got to kill ourselves coming from the back, and we can go make adjustments and think about what we're doing.
5-time and defending World 100 champion Jonathan Davenport will start 5th here tonight. He wins Heat 2.
All right, thanks a lot, Ben. We've got heat race number 3 about to make its way on the track. James, the drivers that finish in the top 3 in this 15-lap heat race will be starting 4th, 9th, and 15th in the World 100. Quickly, Ben, down to you.
Hey, guys, I just wanted to say one thing here. Shannon Rush with Hoosier Tire is down on the scales, really paying attention to those tires. You know, last night we had some issues there. They wasn't for sure if it was something cut or going on with, you know, he mentioned too much camber, low tire pressure. So now they're actually here putting his hand on all these top finishers and keeping an eye on that tire, because that tire deal last night could be, you know, it could have been really bad.
A good call there.
Thanks
a lot, Randy. Yep, appreciate that. Here we go, James. Heat race number 3, Brandon, Florida's Kyle Bronson in the 40B. Going to start on the pole of this one, and on his outside, they're changing a power plant, James, out of Sylvester, Georgia, in the 111 of Stephen Roberts.
So both drivers on the front row have new power plants in tonight.
Yes, they do.
Row number 2, he's been impressive. The Coleman Farms 187. It'll be David McCoy out of Franklin, North Carolina, and the 2008 World 100 winner Shane Clanton alongside of the Zebulon, Georgia.
3rd row back on the inside, former World 100 runner-up out of Winfield, Tennessee in the Ronnie Delt 157. It's the Winfield Warrior, Mike Marler, and on his outside, the 3rd highest point man in this race is going to be guaranteed a starting spot no matter what, James. A prelim winner last night out of Chatham, Illinois. In the 8, it's Squirrel Brian Shirley.
Greg Satterley, the truth, he's out of Indiana, Pennsylvania, the 22. And Richie Stevens of the 00. He is out of Phoenix City, Alabama.
We move back then to row number 5. We find the driver out of Clover, South Carolina in the 5. That'll be Ross Bales. And on his outside, another number 5. The 2nd-generation driver out of Batesville, Indiana. The 5 in is Dustin Nobby.
Benji Hicks, the double nickel, 55H. He's out of Mount Airy, North Carolina. Matt Cosner alongside the 66C. Out of Ridgely, West Virginia.
Row number 7 on the inside out of Wheelersburg, Ohio. In the 71R, it'll be Hot Rod Conley, and he'll be flanked by the Parkersburg, West Virginia driver. The 28, it's Tyler Carpenter.
Jeep is scratched, and everybody
else is scratched.
Austin Kirkpatrick, Jeff Cone.
Hey guys, fun fact, as we get set for heat number 3, 6 cars inverted tonight in all these heat races. That means the guys that got hit the hardest with the invert, they started 4th, 5th, and 6th. You want to take a guess out of heats 1 and 2 where all 3 starters started? How about 4th, 5th, and 6th? That was the drivers that moved off to the main event. So we'll see if that holds true here in heat race number 3.
Yeah, another thing, and that means nobody that started in the front row of either heat have made it.
Yeah. Say what you want about inverts.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
right.
I know there's some of the drivers we've heard it all, and I get it.
Again,
I get it.
I get it. You look at the biggest rate. Look at the Knoxville Nationals. Look at the Chili Bowl. Look at the
Florence,
World 100.
North South. Yep.
Yeah, look at the Boone Super Nationals. All very different formats. All very challenging formats in terms of getting to victory lane.
Hey guys, one thing about that invert, you can talk to every team in the country, but until you own one of ththese teams and you're coming to one of these big shows and they lock in 3 and they invert you out of the show, and by going back to 6, that's why everybody gets upset about it. But it also proves if you got a really good racetrack like some of these you just talked about, then you have room to pass and it puts on a great show. So it goes both ways.
Absolutely.
Great
Point by the voice of reason, Randy Weaver. Outstanding
The voice of reason.
He is. I like it.
He should be the assistant commissioner with Dale McDowell.
Yes.
McDowell should be the commissioner. Randy should be the assistant commissioner.
If there were to be a commissioner of dirt late model racing, Randy Weaver, would you be you and Dale McDowell as co-commissioners?
Yeah.
It'd definitely be Dale McDowell. I'd be the runner. I'd go get things in order for him, maybe.
If elected, he will not run. We've got a mayor. We could have Steve Barnett. He'd be our mayor of racing.
Steve Barnett is the mayor of Franklin, and I think Boone Briggs is the mayor any racetrack he pulls into. Yellow lights have been turned off. Green flag's going to wave this time. Again, this is heat race number 3. The winner will start 4th in the 53rd World 100. Second place will start 9th. And the driver that finishes 3rd will start 15th. 15 laps in this race. Top 3 transfer. Kyle Bronson on the pole. Steven Roberts on the outside.
Down the main straightaway. Bronson with the engine change from last night now. That's on the bottom, rolling through there. How about this David McCoy, the Franklin, North Carolina driver? Here comes Clanton 25, Shirley up top. Shirley won at the line last night, and we got out of shape, and the caution is out. Is that...
It's David McCoy.
Oh, David McCoy, Heartbreak Hotel for the 187.
I'm not sure who it was. They went 3 wide down there in the corner, James. I got the post here in front of me. I missed a little bit of it. They went 3 wide into the corner. Drivers battling hard early to get as much real estate as they could, and the end result was the 187. I don't know if someone got into him or if he got the inside wide. I thought someone came down and made it 3 wide down there. That's what a tough break for that driver. We'll take a look at the replay.
So both
here.
Coltman cars. Let's see here. There's
and McCoy. Clanton went to make it 3 wide, and there wasn't room. And McCoy slipped up, getting in the corner as well. Clanton tried to shoot the gap when he saw McCoy slip up, and the end result was that gap closed quicker than Clanton maybe thought it would. The 187 goes around.
And guys, we didn't get that lap. But Brian Shirley had gone from 6th to 2nd. He really hates to see that caution come out.
He had a great run on the outside of the track there, James, especially down in 3 and 4.
And DJ, we were talking today on race day. I was talking to Brian earlier. Was not his first ever win here last night. He won a fall nationals back in 2012. He said, but nothing to the magnitude what last night was. And it was just really cool to see a veteran just so animated and emotional in victory lane here at Eldora.
Well, absolutely.
And that car was good here in June. Of course, he led a heat race in the Dream and cut down a tire, or he would have started what he was leading the first heat race.
Yeah.
He would have started 6th at the Dream. So Bronson will be your leader. Roberts will be on the outside. He is 2nd. Then it'll be Clanton, Marlar, Shirley, and Richie Stevens in the 00.
James, they moved the inside row up here at Eldora.
That's right. We did not have a lap in, my bad.
Correct. Yep, didn't have a lap in, so that inside row moves straight forward. So Marlar was scheduled to start inside row number 3. Satterley is supposed to start inside row 4, etc. That inside row moves straight up. So now Marlar goes inside row 2, Satterley inside row 3, etc. as they try to get the damage repaired there on the 187 to David McCoy.
Yeah, I talked to David McCoy early. Just happy to be here, and he's been solid the last 2 nights. And, of course, he started on the pole in one of the Twin 25s this past week. And see the Coleman Farms team, Brett Coleman, what he has done for racing in the Southeast especially has been great. And they lost a car with Kenny Collins here in this heat race earlier, heat number 1, or heat number 2 rather. All right, so it'll be a complete restart. As 50-50 right now, it's 70,824, Dustin.
Yeah, that might even get over 100 tonight. All right, 0 down, all 15 still to go. Heat 3, the 53rd World 100 back underway. Bronson going to get the early advantage. Clanton down to the inside. Marlar to third.
Down the back straightaway, here goes Marlar. Roberts trying to look to the outside. His fellow Georgian Shane Clanton. It's the Floridian Kyle Bronson out in front. Mike Marlar lost a little bit of ground there into turn number 1. Mikey's going to have to get wound back up. He is finished second in the World 100. He gets a run down the back straightaway. Here comes Marlar, a run on the bottom. Into turn 3, he'll get back to 4th, but up front, it is still Kyle Bronson showing the way.
One car a little sideways there. The 111 is Stephen Roberts. Everyone bottled up behind of him. Benji Hicks in the 55, the 22 of Greg Satterley, and the 00 of Richie Stevens, all there as well. Back up the front of the field, James, your race leader. KB40, Kyle Bronson, setting sail out front. He's got 0.8 of a second over Shane Clanton. And Shirley right now sitting in third and on the bubble.
And Richie Stevens and Greg Satterley got together on the front straightaway here a few laps ago. Last time around for KB40, he was 0.8 of a second ahead. It's down to 0.9 of a second over Clanton. Shirley running in third down the back straightaway. Working lap 5. We'll have 10 to go, and the top 3 are pulling away. Marlar pedaling hard in the 157.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we scan back through the field right here. There's third place, Brian Shirley on your screen, James in the 8. Look at him running the inside of the racetrack, and there you see Marlar flashing in and out of your screen, running the high side of the racetrack, and I'm not too sure that Marlar's not gaining a little bit of ground on both Brian Shirley and second place Shane Clanton.
He is our first eyeball test of the night. Here comes the WW2 fighter plane down the back straightaway, the 157, the Delco equipment entry. Right now he'll go to that outside. It's still Clanton, Shirley in second and third. Bronson's got a good lead into turn 1. 7 down, 8 to go. Now Shirley moves to the top. Down the back straightaway. They're closing on Clanton, but Bronson's getting away from him, Dustin.
Yeah, Bronson had a 1.3 second advantage that last time by. This time by, the cross flags will be shown to the field. 8 are scored, 7 remain. And Bronson's able to put another 2/10 on this trio. Shane Clanton, the 25, the 8 of Brian Shirley, and the 157 of Mike Marlar. Man, Marlar was pedaling hard. He was gaining ground on this duo right here, James, and then just unable to continue closing that gap. And as a result, Marlar still on the outside looking in, running 4th with 6 to go.
Down the back straightaway, Clanton still holding strong in second. Right now, and the caution is out. We got a car slowing at a turn number 2. Down the back straightaway, and it is Benji Hicks.
Tough break there for the driver of the 55 who started 11th. Hicks was running 6th. And there's the damage on the left front of that race car, and he's going to try to nurse it into the infield. I said damage on the left front. He had that wheel turn hard. Something suspension-wise not right.
He has had a really tough past week, guys.
Well, he has smashed the wall with the right side of the race car. No wonder it's having so much trouble turning.
Yeah, not one to turn there. He had a throttle stick at Livonia last week, and the Hunt the Front Late Model Series event. Hit the wall a ton, went home, went to the backup car, and he comes up here, and not much good luck either. Has a lot of damage on that self-built double nickel race car, the number 55 out of Mount Airy, North Carolina.
And you see him, Ben, just as you had mentioned, he's struggling, James, to make the turns. Struggling to make the turn into the infield, struggling to make the turn there.
And he was up to 6th from 11th, Dustin.
Yes.
So he was trying to work his way through there, but his race has ended. So it'll be Bronson, Clanton, Shirley, Marlar, your top 4, then Satterley, Roberts, Stevens, Carpenter, and Cosner on the double file restart. 9 down.
And there's damage on the right rear of Shane Clanton's 25 as well. He's either got into another car. It might have been the contact that him and
David McCoy
made on the opening lap of this race. Yes, we'll see how that affects him on the outside on this restart. With 9 scored, 6 to go. Again, Bronson, Clanton, Shirley, your top 3, as they go for starting spots 4, 9, and 15 in the World 100. Again, 6, laps to go as they come around to the green flag.
Marler wanted to be on the outside. There he is. Bronson, good restart for him. Oh, man, they're trying to squeeze in. Here comes Robertson to 111. Here comes Satterley. Here comes Tyler Carpenter. Tyler Carpenter shoots to the middle. Tyler Carpenter to the outside at 28.
He may not be done yet. He's going to look to the inside of Mike Marler. Gets the air spoiled, though. It's the 28.
Oh, man.
Maybe.
Those off the 22. Man, we got a battle for the lead. Two good buddies down the back straightaway. Bronson and Shirley. Plant runs in third. Marler is fourth. Carpenter all over the battle there with Roberts. Carpenter throwing it in on the bottom. Down the main straightaway. Bronson still leads. 11 down, 4 to go. Meanwhile, Marler the inside of Clanton out of turn 2. Can't make it stick.
We need the quadruple box here, James, as we just don't have enough to throw them all up on the screen. Looking back on that, Tyler Carpenter, 111. Stephen Roberts battle. Roberts in the wall in 3 and 4. And Carpenter's able to go by, and that may end things for the 111, James.
Marler to third. Marler around Clanton. Clanton lost his momentum off of turn 4. Mike Marler, here comes Shirley in second. At the line, 2 to go. Mike Marler may not be done yet. Dustin Jarrett, he goes into 1 and 2.
Yeah, Brian Shirley trying to gain ground as well, trying to get that run down the back straightaway on your race leader. Shirley and Bronson operate out of the same race shop in the heart of racing season. They're running 1-2, James, with 1 to go, and Marler on the move.
Marler to the bottom, final lap. The top 3 look good. Clean back and forth. Kyle Bronson, Brian Shirley, Mike Marler are going to transfer to the World 100 here tonight in heat number 3.
Bronson gets the win. Shirley second. Marler third in heat race number 3. Clayton will get fourth, and Tyler Carpenter works his way from dead last from 14th up to 5th. So finishing in third, the 157 of Mike Marler. Finishing second, it's the 8S of Brian Shirley, and your winner of heat race number 3. He hails out of Brandon, Florida, and the Borchers Equipment, J&M Refrigeration, Race Car Engineering, sponsored entry. He'll start 4th in the World 100. How about it for the killer Kyle Bronson?
Kyle Bronson, 6 starts in the World 100. His best a 9th back in 2021. Currently 6th in the World of Outlaws Case Late Model Series standings. He was as high as 2nd earlier in the year. A 5-time winner this year, 3 of those in the Super, 2 in the Crate Late Model, Volusia and Cochran. And he will start 4th tonight in pursuit of his first ever World 100 title here at Eldora Speedway. Pulls off the helmet. And we'll get a word. The difference a night can make. Kyle, you had a hot rod last night. You heard an engine, but tonight you have got a really good car from 4th. What do you need for the 100 laps tonight?
I think our car is extremely good right there. You know, it's been good the last couple of days. We just got to have a little luck to go with it. So I think we just got to tighten it up from center off there leaving, and we'll have a pretty good shot at it.
Race fans, Kyle Bronson, the Brandon, Florida driver, wins heat race number 3.
Love me a good Kyle Bronson interview.
I'll tell you what, DG, we're that good hot rod. Tanner Birdwell turning the wrenches on that car.
When he comes and finds you, James, it's coming. When he finds you.
I love Kyle.
Hey,
Kyle.
3 heats down, 3 heats to go. Heat race number 4 making its way on the track. The top 3 in this heat race, James, will start 3rd, 10th, and 16th in the World 100.
What about eclectic? Would
Yes.
you say?
It is an eclectic mix.
Matt Shepard, 9-time Super Dirt Series champion. He's on the pole in the Nice Motorsports entry out of Waterloo, New York. And outside last year's O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year in the Lucas Oil Series. Now hailing out of Dubuque, Iowa, Garrett Alberson.
Row number 2 on the inside out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. In the 2S, it'll be Stormy Scott, and on his outside, out of Mount Holly, North Carolina, in the 22, Fergie time, Chris Ferguson.
The James, Jennifer, and Justin Ratliff, number 12, out of Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Oh, to our good friend Brad Gerritz racing. Jason Jameson and Ricky Thornton Jr. alongside the 20 RT, the current Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series points leader.
Another stacked heat race inside row number 4 finds the driver out of New Waverly, Texas, and the best performance motorsports number 1. That's Turbo, Tyler Erb, and on his outside, now out of Mooresville, North Carolina. In the Melanie Motorsports number 8, the high side tickler, Kyle Strickler.
Row 5, 2 drivers trying to make their first career start in the World 100 out of Jackson, Ohio, in his first full year in an open late model. It's Seth Daniels and G.R. Smith in the Sniper, the 22X. He is out of Statesville, North Carolina.
We move back then to row number 6, and on the inside we find the driver out of Bunbury, Western Australia. That's going to be Kai Blight, and on his outside, it'll be the driver out of Owensboro, Kentucky, and the inning hatcher number 6 is Tyler Nicely.
This is so interesting, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Matt Shepard and Garrett Alberson.
James, real quick, Kate Loudy,
Yep.
Curtis Roberts, Brendan Smith, Bryant Dickinson starting shotgun in the field. Gilbert Hess is a scratch.
We got them all except for Gil. All right, here we go.
Yes, except for Gil Harris. Here we go, 15 laps. The winner starts third in the World 100. Not a good start for Garrett Alberson.
No, not at all. Way back there. Look out. And out at 2 down the back straightaway. And Matt Shepard, the current Super Dirt Series points leader. Short Track Super Series points leader. The Mellon 1 for Nice Motorsports. Leads Stormy Scott and Chris Ferguson into turn 1. How excited will he be?
Oh, give me all the Shepards.
Tell you what, those big buck. But out, Fergie throws it in on the bottom on Stormy Scott. Up top, here comes RTJ.
Boy, Chris Ferguson drove that car all the way to the St. Henry nightclub before he set it up. He may not be done yet. His Shepard slips high down in turns 1 and 2, and he allows a freight train to go by in the Nice Motorsports 42.
How about the Melody Motorsports 8 of Kyle Strickler? He's got a good hot rod tonight down the straightaway. Shepard back around Thornton into 1. Now remember, Ricky Thornton Jr. is going to be in the show, right? Because he is second.
Yes.
Well, no, he would be first right now because Shirley made it in.
Shirley did make it in, yes.
All right, here we come out of turn 4. Out in front, it's Chris Ferguson. It is father, Brian Conard's Team Zero car, Diftran Machining, Spartan Transportation car down the back straightaway. Let me see about the transportation number 2 in the Cat Industries 8, Kyle Strickler. Kyle Strickler started back in 8th. He's third in car 8.
His time by 5 laps, scored 10 laps to go. There's Ricky Thornton Jr. James right now. He's on the outside looking in. As you mentioned, you see the gap that he's got to make up between himself and that battle for second between Stormy Scott and Brian Shirley. That's a pretty sizable advantage for RTJ to make up. And he's going to transfer to the show out of this heat race.
Been a rough couple of years here at Eldora for Chris Ferguson. He was second last night in one of the 25 lappers. Here comes Kyle Strickler working the bottom in car 8. Get Strickler to Fairbury and Knoxville with a good run.
That's right. That's right. Here are gray cars going at it back there. Stormy Scott in the 2S, the black and gray 8 of Kyle Strickler. This battle happens about 1.4 seconds behind your race leader, Chris Ferguson. James and Fergie picked up the tail end of the field. Bryant Dickinson going to go 1 lap down the back straightaway.
So if Thornton doesn't make it right now, he's in 4th. He would start 19th in the World 100 tonight. We got traffic in front of Stormy Scott and Strickler into turn 1. Bryant Dickinson. And right now we got some smoke. And into turn number 1, and it's out of Matt Shepard's car.
Now Matt Shepard may have terminal damage on that Nice Motorsports 42 as he is very slow on the inside of the racetrack down the back straightaway. And he is not able to make it in the infield, and that will bring out a caution as he is slowed to a half spin off corner number 2, actually partway down the back straightaway. And that will put us under caution for the first time in heat race number 4. James, we'll see if that one was officially scored. We may have to go back to lap number 9.
Ben, he led early on and on that restart, but it all started off Thursday here really tough when the car fell off the lift gate. For those that were, the 40 Matt Shepard.
Yeah, it's been a tough past 3 weeks for them. Ross Chastain was a teammate with him up at Delaware, Georgetown, Delaware with the Lucas Oil Series. Chastain had to scratch after hot laps, and Matt Shepard had issues, jumped in Chastain's car, and got upside down in the B main. And then they get here, the car comes off the lift gate. Cody Summer, team manager, has to jump off. He gets banged up, broken rib, and had a contusion there on his arm. And then now this is Shepard looked fast, but just not much luck here this week at Eldora for the driver out of Waterloo, New York.
Chris Ferguson started 4th. He's leading. Stormy Scott started 32nd. Kyle Strickler started 8th, and he's up to 3rd. Plenty of passing here tonight, Dustin.
Yeah, each heat race so far, each of the first 3, the 2 highest point men have overcome the invert and transferred into the show. The drivers from row 3.
And only one driver from the front row, and that was Kyle Bronson in the last race, has advanced. Well, Garrett Alberson, that was a tough start as he was on the outside of the front row, and right now he's back in 8th and 58. But Chris Ferguson trying to get that monkey off his back here at Eldora. As we mentioned, it's been a tough couple of years here for him. Again, he ran second, one of the 25 lappers here last night.
Meanwhile, guys, I don't know what's happening in the infield. Mike Norris has somehow drawn the attention of the Wonder Bread cowboy down here. He's got a Wonder Bread jacket. He's twerking. He's got a cowboy hat on. And, yeah, there you see it, race fans. Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot happening.
He's had a lot more Oreos than you guys had last night.
I've got a lot of questions. And
by the way,
no, I'm not going over there. Norris is waiting.
All right.
Nope.
We actually stole something from the tower. Check this out.
But I'll wake up every night. His excellence.
Hey,
be careful. Be careful with that mic.
Oh, what does Mike have down there? Where did those
look
come
what
from?
I got.
He stole some of your Oreos.
Oh,
boys.
my goodness.
I don't know about this guy, but we got your Oreos, boys.
He's also got the cowboy from YMCA 2023 in the flesh.
Hey, you know what's funny is that's exactly how James was acting last night after eating an entire thing of Oreos.
Don't give him the, don't give him the mic.
Good try.
That guy might be from Tennessee.
Not my end of the state, Randy. That's your end of the state.
You know, there is.
That's Memphis all the way.
No, sir.
It's really funny because I really don't want to know what he has to say, yet I kind of do want to know what he has to say.
And nope. But Randy had a good point. Those individuals that are having a good time, they always find Mike Norris. There's a common denominator.
That is a fact. Or Mike Norris finds them. One of the two.
Hey, Benji, whatever happened to Cowboy Troy?
How am I going to know that? I mean, what? I mean, I'm not asking you what happened to the original guitar player from Pantera. What are you asking me here, man? Come on.
Oh, boy.
Who was the fifth Beatle? That's what we need to know, right? All right. It's
probably that guy in the Wonder Bread coat right there. All right, let's see.
Move over Ringo.
Yes, 10 laps scored, 5 laps to go. Heat race number 4 is back underway. Chris Ferguson leads, and they make contact down the front straightaway as RTJ tries to work by Stormy Scott.
Here comes RTJ up top. Strickler from 8th to 2nd. Tyler Erb on the bottom there. Out at turn number 4, it's Fergie. Man, business is picking up here in heat number 4. Into one and Turbo and Thornton. Here comes Stormy back. Garrett Alberson trying to get back in and down the back straightaway.
Turbo just threw a big slider to grab that third and final transfer spot on Ricky Thornton Jr. RTJ got shuffled back to 4th, James, this time by 3 to go.
Man, he was sliding up the track. Alberson on the bottom, and Alberson around Thornton. Garrett Alberson started in the front row. He's ran back as far as 8th or 9th. But right now it's Ferguson, Strickler from 8th. Tyler Erb started in 7th. He's 3rd. And we got 4 cars back here battling it out for 4th.
And trouble for Ricky Thornton Jr. in the 20 RT. He's off the pace at the end of the front straightaway and into turns 1 and 2. The 20 RT is slowing. He'll have to take a provisional, James. He will unofficially start 19th in the World 100. We've got 1 to go in this one.
Meanwhile, the battle for second out in front is Fergie out in turn number 2. Kyle Strickler 2nd. Tyler Erb runs in 3rd. Ferguson from 4th to 1st. Strickler 8th to 2nd. Tyler Erb 7th to 3rd, Dustin Jarrett.
And Fergie's going to get the win. 2nd will go to Kyle Strickler from 8th, and Tyler Erb, as you mentioned, James, will take the 3rd spot from 7th. Stormy Scott on the outside looking in 4th, and Garrett Alberson rounds out the top 5 in heat race number 4. So finishing 3rd, it'll be the 1 of Turbo Tyler Erb. He will start 16th, finishing 2nd. After starting 8th, Kyle Strickler. James, he will start 10th. And the winner of heat race number 4, he will roll off 3rd in the 53rd running of the World 100. Ladies and gentlemen, out of Mount Holly, North Carolina, in the Spartan Transportation, K&K Trucking, Live Oak Aesthetic, number 22, let's hear it for Mount Holly, North Carolina's Chris Ferguson.
Wow, what a weekend for the Double Deuce as he gets set and ready to roll down. 2 wins on the year. Have an up and down year for Chris Ferguson, but what a difference a weekend can make. We'll talk to him down here in Victory Lane. So happy for my buddy. Victory in Jesus alongside the Double Deuce, of course. We got to see him earlier today. Chris, I tell you what, man, So happy for you. I know looking for tonight will be your 5th consecutive start in the World 100. Sometimes I think they think you're a little bit underrated, but man, oh man, tonight you're going to start 3rd in the World 100. Your 5th consecutive start, chasing your first win.
Man, God is great. He's blessed me with a great weekend so far. This hot rod was fast. I just got to thank all my sponsors for allowing me to be here. I'm just no better than anybody else. I just happen to have a lot of great people surrounding me. So I'd love to get my first win, first World 100 tonight. We've been trying. We've been getting better and better in these 100-lap races. So feels good to lock in. And like I said, Fox Racing Shocks, Clements Racing Engine, the sweet Bloomquist race car. Man, it was really good in that heat race. I was just out there riding, and it's always fun to do that. So like I said, just thanks to all my crew and my family and everybody that's at home watching and pulling for me. I greatly appreciate it. And like I said, looking forward to putting on a show tonight for you fans.
How about it, race fans out of Mount Holly, North Carolina? It's Chris Ferguson, your winner.
Hey guys, we're here with Ricky Thornton Jr. You'll get a provisional. You'll start 19th tonight. Any issues with the car, or do you just pull off to save it?
No, I mean, really, you got to win these heat races, start off road to really have a shot to win these deals. So try to go 3 wide at the start. It just didn't work out, and I fell back after that. So really, there's no reason to stay out and kind of abuse our stuff. So we'll start 19th. Hopefully, we can get to the front. We'll see. Track's quite a bit different than it's been kind of both nights. So hopefully, the bottom slows down a little bit and we can race a little more.
All right, guys, Heat 5 coming to the Speedway.
Well, Dustin, we know he could come from the back at Port Royal 2 weeks ago. He started 25th as a provision. He had to go to a backup car and got all the way to second.
Well, James, heat race number 5 is about to make its way on the track. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of heat race number 5 will start on the outside front row of the 53rd World 100. The driver that finishes second in this heat race will start 11th. The driver that finishes third will roll off 17th. James, heat race number 5 lines up like this.
It'll be Mike Benedum, the 25 former Stars Rookie of the Year. He is out of Salem, West Virginia. And in the Billy Hicks 79 out of Dawsonville, Georgia, it is Donald McIntosh.
Row at number 2 on the inside, former World 100 champion out of Evans, Georgia. In the Ed Basie tribute, it's going to be Brendan Overton, and on his outside, the 2006 World 100 champ out of Jacksonville, Florida, the Hurricane Earl Pearson Jr.
In the Earl Pearson Jr. Dunn Benson Ford throwback, number 1 from 06. Out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, it's Dalton Wilson on the outside, the number 1. He's out of Martinsville, Indiana. That is Hudson O'Neill.
We move back, James, to row number 4 on the inside. We find a 2-time World 100 champ out of Newport, Tennessee, and the Bobby and Jessica Kohler Motorsports, number 20. It's the Newport Nightmare, Jimmy Owens, and on his outside, led so many laps last year at the Castro Gateway Dirt Nationals out of Hawkinsville, Georgia. The JCC Motorsports number 19M, it'll be Will Harrington.
Row 5 will be Casey Noonan, the driver. He's out of Sylvania, Ohio, and outside the defending dirt track world champion. The number 10, he's out of Eatonton, Georgia. That is Garrett Smith.
Row number 6 on the inside, we find the former Eldora Speedway track champion out of Bloomington, Indiana, the 7R. That's K-Rob, Kent Robinson. He'll be flanked by the Swanton, Ohio driver in the 8, Rob Anderzak.
Then it's Terry Rushlow. He's out of Holland, Ohio, on car 63. Mike Bargo, the 316 out of Corbin, Kentucky.
Row number 8, scheduled to be Ringgold, Georgia's Jeremy Cropper in the 7. Greenville, Michigan's Luke Anstedt in the 64. Terry Wolfenbarger was a scratch last night. He will be a scratch once again this evening. So 16 drivers have answered the call for heat race number 5. Again, 15 laps. Starting to get a big difference, James, in the starting spots as the winner of this one, again, rolls up in the outside front row of the World 100, and second will start 11th.
So through 4 heat races, only 1 driver that started in the front rows advanced. That was Kyle Bronson. I don't know if I've ever seen that here.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
wild,
amazing.
Man.
Yes, it is.
All right, for the outside of the front row, Benedum or McIntosh?
Wow.
Wouldn't that be something?
Certainly would be.
Brandon Overton in the 4 car. Again, it's a throwback to Ed Basie, the Augusta, Georgia veteran, battling some health issues, one of the best out of the Southeast. Good friends with Brandon Overton, one of his racing idols. And, of course, we're used to seeing him in the 76 car, EPJ alongside in that Lucas Oil 46 car. You knew Pearson and Wilson, they started side by side in the feature the other night, right, BJ?
Yeah.
And you got Hudson O'Neal, the Valvoline #1 car. So we've got one provisional spot filled. That will be 19 starting Ricky Thornton Jr., who will be the other one, but we're going to take 3 for the outside of the front row, Dustin.
Green flag flies. Winner of this one starts on the outside front row. As you just said, James Mike Benetton gets the whole shot into 1 and 2. And here comes D-Mac on the outside, bringing Hudson O'Neal with him.
Hudson O'Neal dives to the bottom. Had a flat tire while leading last night. He won the Twin 25s here on Thursday. Now he's up to second after lap 1. Benetton is third. Here comes Overton and Pearson side by side. Up top, whoa, get out of the gas there. He had hit his brakes. That was Garrett Smith. Up front, it's the H&H Auto Sales with a veteran car owner, Billy Hicks, on the mountain in Erie, North Carolina. Out in front, it's Donald McIntosh. Not in the Buick tonight, but he's looking good at 79.
4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th on your screen. Those drivers right now on the outside looking in. And man, Brandon Overton looks like he's got a handful in that Ed Basie tribute, James. That white and blue #4 right there. You saw him push up the racetrack down in 3 and 4. He drifts up again, but he gets a good run off the corner, able to keep himself ahead of Pearson. James right now, he's both trying to stay ahead of the 46 and reel in your 3rd place car, Mike Benetton. Benetton trying to make the World 100 for the first time.
Right now in that solid 3rd spot, the BSI Well Service. Black Rock 25 Team 0 car. He's got a good distance between himself and Overton. And the caution is out. And it is your leader, Donald McIntosh, into the wall in turn number 3.
Oh, man, what a tough break. You just saw him hit the steering wheel right there. Man, oh man. A tough break for the Dawsonville, Georgia driver. You can almost through the TV screen feel the emotion that he is feeling right now. Man, that's a tough one.
We'll see if we have a replay of that. 4 laps in the books. We've got a replay. Thank you, Tiffany. Great job. And we'll see what happened to the Billy Hicks 79 of Georgia's Donald McIntosh, and heavy damage on the right front. It looks like his night is in.
Yeah, he's mangled the right front of Billy Hicks, number 79 double nickel race car. And wow.
Guys, I wonder if he had a tire. Man, that thing shot straight into the outside wall. Tiffany, I don't know if we can see that replay one more time. Jumping the cushion's one thing, but that thing, I don't know that he was above the cushion there, James. That thing just shot straight into the outside wall. It makes you wonder if something didn't break on that car before he got into the wall, because that thing just went dead. Right, here's, guys, here's a look at the replay one more time. Oh, man. That wheel was already turned, James. Randy Weaver, real quick. I don't know, Randy, I don't know if you get to see that replay. What may have happened to the 79 right there?
Well, that's right where the dip is, you know, when you're across the track, and you run so fast there, you bottom out sometimes, and when you bottom out the cross member, we put skid plates on there just so we can protect the oil pan, but you'll bottom out sometimes and it'll just take off like a sled. But it could have been a tire too. You know, we've had some issues here the last couple of nights. I do see the Hoosier guys going that way to inspect it. Of course, once you hit the wall that hard, you know, you can just pick apart. Everything's broke, so it's hard to tell what happened first, but man, hard hit right there.
All right, Randy, great job. Thank you very much. 4 in the book. So Hudson O'Neal, who started 6th, and we'll try to get a word with Donald McIntosh as he climbs from his Billy Hicks 79 car. Hudson O'Neal will be your new leader. That'll be better.
All right, guys. Ross Bell, Donald McIntosh down here. Billy Hicks, tire blue going into the corner on the number 79.
Oh, man. Heartbreak right there. Well, that's going to put Hudson O'Neal on the point from 6th. Mike Benetton on the outside to get back underway, and Benetton may have spun the tires there on the restart. That opens up a floodgate of cars down to the inside.
3-4-1. Oh, and going around is Benetton. And the caution is out, and Mike Benetton, who was in a position to make his first World 100, and we got another car coming out of 2, and it's Mike Bargo.
Well, this is going to be interesting, James, because Benetton never stopped on the racetrack. He did a complete 360 down there in turns 1 and 2, but kept going.
Yeah, but the field, but if the caution was on him and we go by the blend rule, the field was already past him, though, guys.
No, the fortunate thing is that nobody on the broadcast has to make that decision. We'll leave that to race control. There's a good look at Benetton's 25.
Mike Bargo down there.
Hey guys, something else too. These restarts are always hectic. We all know that, especially on Saturday night when it's time to go. But you can just feel it down here, the urgency in these guys, and they're sometimes 4 wide getting into 1. You know, not even most of the time they kind of take care of their stuff. They're just letting it roll in there. Quarter paneling, I mean, at these speeds, you can tell it's important to get in this race right now instead of later.
Hey guys, real quick, Donald McIntosh on here, totally dejected. What happened, man?
Blew a right front tire. That's the second one of the weekend. I don't know what to say. I can't thank these guys enough. We had an awesome race car. It's pretty well hurt now, but I just hate it. Just had a tire failure, and they got to figure something out on these twos. They ain't no good.
All right, well, Donald McIntosh, very dejected. He is okay down here. The race car is not to break for this Billy Hicks Racing, number 79.
And Ben, I think you were right on the blend rule with the 25 of Mike Benningham, as we do see him in line near the tail end of the field, as well as the 316 of Mike Bargo, who stopped on the racetrack. So that reshuffles this lineup yet again, James, with 4 laps in. Before that last caution, it was McIntosh, O'Neill, Benningham, your top 3. Now on this restart, it's going to be O'Neill. Now, Brandon Overton on the outside. He'll be in second, and that moves Earl Pearson Jr. up to third. And all of a sudden, Garrett Smith from the 10th starting spot finds himself in 4th.
Yeah, not a good restart there. Last couple of times for Dalton Wilson. He's fallen from 5th back to 10th. But we still have time to go. You had 4 down, 11 to go. The winner starts on the outside of the front row of the 53rd World 100. O'Neill and Overton at the line, back underway at Eldora.
Off into turns 1 and 2. Overton, does he have that push figured out on the 4? He gets around turns 1 and 2. Okay, here comes Garrett Smith to the outside, trying to work the 10 car in the show, and he gets too high down at turns 3 and 4. Oh, no!
Oh, and it got together. Dalton Wilson is in trouble. He and Will Harrington of the caution will come back out.
A flat left rear tire on the James Ratliff Racing number 1 for Dalton Wilson. Doggone it.
He had to check up. I will check the replay here. That's a heavy damage on that car in the Ratliff number 1. Well, Garrett Smith went in there and got sideways, and then you saw what happened behind that here, and we'll check the replay. Man, a lot of action in this one. It'll be O'Neill, Overton, Pearson, Owens. Jimmy started 7th. In the 20 car. Here's the replay, Dustin, for those here at the track and on FloRacing.
Yeah, everyone was really bottled up, and it may have all started, right there. You saw Garrett Smith get a little high. Dalton Wilson very obviously already committed to that line there in the center. And he and Will Harrington make contact through really and truly neither of their faults. The end result's a flat left rear on Dalton Wilson's number 1. Guys, down to you.
Hey, guys, on that deal, you could see that Dalton Wilson had already committed to pull the slider on Will Harrington, and then that's when Garrett was checked up, and you're running so fast sideways because you're doing the slide job, then all of a sudden when you clear the guy you're passing, here comes another guy that's almost stopped because he about spun out, and there's nothing to do there but just hope for the best.
But you talked about if you don't finish in the top 11, right?
Yeah, if
so Thornton, we know Thornton's in. He'll be 19th. Now, O'Neill, if he makes it in, then Shepard.
Speaking of Thornton, he's down there helping. That is him down there helping get sheet metal pulled away, helping get that door pulled back so they can get a tire on the 1 of Dalton Wilson. Very cool. Very, very cool.
Dalton Wilson is 11th in the points after 2 nights. So there's a possibility he could get to start at the back of a B.
He could get started at the back of a B. He's not going to get one of the high points provisionals.
Right.
Thornton Jr. has one of those.
Right.
Hudson O'Neill and Brandon Shepard next in line. If Hud makes it in, then it would be Shep. If Shep makes it in, then it would be Jason Jameson.
Right.
We get the high points provisional.
Right. So Wilson's 9 might not be over because if he was 11th back in original,
he could.
Yes,
he could get
in past years. He would not be eligible to run a B main. So a lot of work there on that number 1 car.
Yeah, they were doing body work, trying to get it away from that new left rear tire that went on. And it talked about Ricky Thornton Jr. crew down here. We talked about, obviously, Dalton Wilson, members of Brendan Shepard's crew, Spencer Hughes, a lot of people chipping in, trying to get this race car back out on the racetrack. They'll pull the skirt off the bottom of left side and try to make sure there's not going to be a tire rub, but they got a long way to go tonight. Hate to see this, but, man, I love to see this car on the Speedway. Brings back a lot of memories that done Benson Ford, number 1.
So 5 laps are scored, 10 laps remain here in what has over the years become a fabled Heat 5 at Eldora.
Jason Jameson, by the way, finished 6th in his heat, so he'll be in one of the B mains. But again, you mentioned Ricky Thornton Jr., so if O'Neill makes it in,
and Shep makes it in,
it would be Jason Jameson.
Yeah.
So you got the two Ratliff cars, 10th and 11th in points. So.
Well, and here's the question, too, then.
Yeah.
I mean, if
yeah.
It'll be interesting. I mean, if Hud makes it in and Brandon Shepard makes it in, Jameson will be next in line for that points provisional. But would Jameson still go out? Would he? I mean, he's going to start near the front, one of those B mains, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you automatically get that spot, though, after the heats,
so.
right? I think it's the two highest drivers in points, not in.
You do, yeah. I think you're right.
All right. A lot of storylines so far. So
Heat 5, what else could happen?
You know another thing? Looks like nobody from the front row is going to advance again. We'll only have one because Benedum and McIntosh is out of this race, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, Benedum's still in.
Benedum's still in, but he's got to get in the top 3 to make it in, and obviously look for a higher starting spot in that second B main here tonight.
And Dalton Wilson has made it back out, James, in the Ratliff Racing 1. He's going to be at the tail.
So many storylines, Burler. Here we go. O'Neill at Overton. Here comes Owens. Here comes Pearson. Here comes Garrett Smith.
They fan out 3 wide down the front straightaway. Look at Earl Pearson Jr. rallying back up to the front of the field in the 46, and here comes the 4 of Brandon Overton, the Ed Basie tribute. Side by side for second through turns 3 and 4. Man, Overton just looks like he's got a handful in that race car tonight, James.
And they go into 1. Pearson, here comes Jimmy Owens on the bottom. 2, 4-time Lucas Oil 800 Series national champions, and Earl Pearson Jr. and Jimmy Owens. But it's Hudson O'Neill, the current Castro FloRacing United American points leader, second in Lucas Oil points with the lead into 1. 7 down, 8 to go, DJ.
Here comes Jimmy Owens. Owens down to the inside of the 4 of Brandon Overton. Move Owens up to the 3rd spot. Overton gets shuffled back to 4th, and he may not be done yet because Garrett Smith's going to try to drive down to the inside. I'm telling you, Overton looks like he's dealing 5-card stud out there in the 4 as he tries to maneuver that Longhorn through the corners this time by.
Garrett Smith back in. Yep. Hudson O'Neill, the Valvoline. Soybird Calf Ranches Gunners Honey number 1. Trying to start on the outside of the front row. Down the back straightaway. Pearson, Owens, Overton, Garrett Smith. Kent Robinson is 6th. But it's all Hudson O'Neill with 5 to go in Heat 5.
Look at the veterans, James. Earl Pearson Jr. and Jimmy Owens right now in 2nd and 3rd. Overton's kind of settled into that 4th spot. He's finally got this feet under him, and he's trying to close back in on this duo and put his, and the caution flag is out as the 64 of Luke Anstedt has spun to a stop at the opening of the racetrack coming off turn number 4.
Not sure if he was trying to go to the pits. We got 10 in the books, 5 to go. It'll be Hudson O'Neill, Earl Pearson Jr., Jimmy Owens, Brandon Overton, your top 4. Then Garrett Smith, Kent Robinson, Casey Noonan. Randy, we talked about it. DJ's been mentioning it. Brandon Overton has a handful in that 4 car.
Yeah, I talked to Grant Pearl a little bit last night on the way back to the room, and, you know, they've been working hard trying to get that balance right on the car like he had here so many times before. But, man, I'm telling you, when you're back there battling in that air, it's a handful by itself, let alone if your car isn't always like you want it to be. But this restart gives them a chance. I'm telling you, these guys, this is what they're praying for. If you're outside looking in, it just takes one bad restart for somebody and you're in the show.
So heavy damage there. Thank you, Randy. Heavy damage on the Greenville, Michigan driver, Luke Anstedt. And it looks like his World 100 weekend may have come to an end with 10 laps scored and 5 laps remaining here in Heat 5.
Randy, one thing to note here, of course, here at Eldora, you can't beat experience. You've got drivers running 2nd and 3rd. They've combined to win 3 World 100s, and they've won 8 Lucas Oil titles in Pearson and Owens.
Yeah, that experience is big anywhere, but here it's unbelievable. And, you know, the guys are learning. I'm not saying that the younger kids ain't fast and, you know, they can win races, but it just seems like when you've been to this particular racetrack several times, you just got a big advantage.
Now, the 2 best cars the first 2 nights, the 2 fastest have been Pearson and O'Neill, Randy.
Yeah, they have, and to be honest with you, Huddy is looking really, really comfortable in his car, and like you said about the flat tire, he could have pretty easily swept this weekend, and I definitely wouldn't rule him out on the 100-lapper. Plus, him being from Indiana, that'd be pretty cool. Everybody tells me I need to root for people from Tennessee, but they forget I was born in Indiana. I guess it's something about the accent.
You and Larry Moore. Larry Moore was born in Indiana. Did you know that?
Yeah, I'm about as old as him, I feel like right now.
One of the best ever, no doubt about it. Larry Moore, 3-time World 100 winner.
We've got 10 scored, 5 to go here in heat race number 5. Again, the winner of this one starts in the outside front row of the 53rd World 100 right now. That top spot belongs to Hudson O'Neal, and James, he's chosen the inside on this restart. That's going to put Earl Pearson Jr. on the outside. Third place, Jimmy Owen to go inside. And fourth place, Brandon Overton's going to be outside, and that outside has been a struggle for the 4 car.
Well, the 10 car's been fast. Garrett Smith, Kent Robinson's in there as well. 5 to go in Heat 5. Heat 5's always interesting, isn't it?
Yes,
in the past few years, when we had the rainstorm a few years ago. Here comes Jimmy Owens on the bottom. Pearson trying to go traction down the back straightaway. Garrett Smith, he'll make the move on the inside. The crossover to 3. They go side by side. Pearson and Smith off at turn 4. And Brandon Overton is sliding back again, Dustin.
Look at Casey Noonan down on the inside of the racetrack. Noonan just moved up into the 4th spot, trying to make the World 100. And look at Dalton Wilson coming from the tail of the field. James battling for 5th.
Big Perm looking for a good starting spot in that second B main right now. Casey Noonan, 4th. 1 spot out of making the World 100 for the first time. Overton on the outside is the top 3. Have pulled away. It's Hudson O'Neal way out in front down the straightaway. Jimmy Owens a solid second. Owen started 7th in car 20.
And there you see Brandon Overton's worked his way back by Casey Noonan to take over the 4th spot. Noonan back to 5th. Garrett Smith is 6th. Now less than 2 laps to go. Hudson O'Neal, though. James, your race leader, picking up where he left off after the last caution. White flags out. Final time around.
O'Neal, Owens, Pearson. 2.1 seconds. It looks good down the back straightaway. For the outside of the front row for the 53rd World 100 in the Mark Richards Racing entry. And it's Martinsville, Indiana, Hudson O'Neal with the win. Jimmy Owens 2nd. Pearson is 3rd. 4th is Overton. 5th is Garrett Smith. And it's Will Harrington, Casey Noonan, Dalton Wilson, Mike Benedum, Kent Robinson, Mike Bargo, Terry Rushlow, Rob Anderzak, Jeremy Cropper.
So finishing in 3rd, it's the 46 of Earl Pearson Jr. Finishing 2nd, the 20 of Jimmy Owens, and your winner of heat race number 5 in the Swaybert Calf Ranches, Valvoline, Ace Metalworks, Gunners Honey, O'Neal Savage Rocket Chassis number 1. He'll start on the outside front row of tonight's World 100. Ladies and gentlemen, how about it for the new deal, Hudson O'Neal? Hudson O'Neal going to make his way to the scale area, James, to make it official.
6th, 7th, and 4th is where they started the top 3.
Awesome.
Awesome. No doubt, brother.
And Dalton Wilson, who started 5th, went to the tail of the field with a flat tire. He came back up through the field. He was James battling for 5th at one time. He fell to 8th at the finish. So Hudson O'Neal going to come over, and he is going to grab a word with our very own Mike Norris. Mike, take it away.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Enjoyed a 12-win season, 61 top 10s and 73 starts here in 2023. And again, a flat tire away from having a perfect weekend. And boy, oh boy, congratulations. Hudson O'Neal, you had a heck of a rocket. Got out front and you set sail. Congratulations. You're on the front row of the 53rd World 100.
It feels good to hear you say that, Mike. Man, we have such a hot rod, and I got to contribute that to a good start. You know, everything just worked out perfect. You couldn't ask for a better situation, and these guys have given me such an amazing car to be able to drive, and I can't thank every one of them. All the people that helped this race car, all my family, everybody involved, and hopefully we can bring a glow back to Indiana.
Real quick, what would it mean? I know to you, to Indiana, your dad, a former Dream winner, but what would it mean to you if you could bring Mark Richards his first Globe trophy, my man?
It'd be special. He's been at this a long time, and God knows he deserves one. So I'll do my best, and hopefully it's enough.
the youngster out of Martinsville, Indiana. Ladies and gentlemen, he'll start P2 in the 53rd World 100. How about it, race fans, for the New Deal, Hudson O'Neal.
James,
One
final
more.
heat
One
race
man.
of the night is pulling on the track. The driver that finishes third will start 18th. The driver that finishes second will start 12th. And the winner of Heat 6 will start on the pole of the 53rd World 100.
It'll be Mason Ziegler, the 25Z out of Chalk Hill, Pennsylvania, and the reigning World of Outlaw Series champion, Dennis Herb Jr. out of Carpentersville, Illinois in 28.
Row 2 on the inside out of Cosseyville, Mississippi in the PCC Motorsports 11. That'll be Spencer Hughes. And on his outside, out of Marshalltown, Iowa in the 19R, the Reaper, Ryan Gustin.
Trent Ivey, the 88 car, Union, South Carolina, and Brandon Shepard, the B5 out of New Berlin, Illinois.
Another solid heat race inside row 4. Finds the driver, the Ty Touareg Racing 9. It's going to be Mooresville, North Carolina's Nick Hoffman. And on his outside, the Baldus Classic winner here on Sunday out of Headingley, Manitoba. It's the 7 of Ricky Weiss.
Row 5 will be Jordan Kohler, rookie late model driver, Mount Airy, North Carolina, the veteran R.J. Conley out of Wheelersburg, Ohio in the 71C.
Row number 6 on the inside, the birthday boy, St. Charles, Missouri's Gordy Gundaker. And on his outside, out of Morristown, Tennessee, in the 101, it'll be Forrest Trent. Your final starters then, it's scheduled to be the Jedi, Jerry Bowersock, the former track champ out of Wapakoneta, Ohio in the 95J. The 49 out of Winona, Minnesota, Jake Tim. And the other 49, the 49R out of Clark Lake, Michigan, another former track champ. It's Brian Ruhlman, Freddie Carpenter, and Dona Marcolier are a scratch. So 15 cars scheduled to go 15 laps. Again, the winner of this heat starts on the pole with a 53rd running of the World 100.
Mason Ziegler, the green lane, 25Z into 1. He'll take the lead. Working the bottom, Spencer Hughes in the Evil Knievel scheme down the back straightaway through the middle into turn number 3. That is battle here. Comes Hughes, will slide right in front of Herb. Down the straightaway, Ziggy. Man, they're 2-3 wide behind the leader.
Boy, Mason Ziegler, like a rocket ship, 1.5 second advantage after one lap here in heat race number 6. That's the battle for second, third, fourth, and fifth on your screen. Spencer Hughes, Dennis Erb Jr., and Brandon Shepard.
This track's ready for 100 laps tonight, isn't it, my friend?
Good.
We still got 2 B mains after this. Out of turn number 2, Spencer Hughes leads Herb, Shepard, Gustin, Ivy, and Weiss. It is all Mason Ziegler, Chalk Hill, Pennsylvania veteran, former Rookie of the Year in the Lucas Oil Late 100 Series, trying to start on the pole in the World 100 down the back straightaway.
Indeed, he is, James, and that advantage maintains about 1.8 seconds for the driver of the 25Z. Looking back on this battle, Brandon Shepard in 4th, Ryan Gustin in 5th, Trent Ivey in 6th. All stacked up behind the 11 of Spencer Hughes are currently run 2nd. James 4 laps, 11 laps remaining. Dennis Erb Jr. hanging on to that final transfer spot. Here's a good look at Mason Ziegler, who continues to stretch out his lead. It's now 2.6 seconds.
No matter who wins this race, we are guaranteed one thing. 5 of the 6 heat race winners tonight have never won the World 100. The only one that has won it, of course, is Jonathan Davenport. Meanwhile, the battle here. Herb slides up. Here comes Shepard and B-Shep down the straightaway. Half a car length. He'll take that advantage over Gustin. Out at 2. Gustin and Shepard going back. Ryan Gustin will battle back. The Marshalltown, Iowa driver. He'll drive it in hard on the bottom. They're going to go side by side. Hughes solid at 2nd. Then it's Herb, Shepard, Gustin, Ivy, and Hoffman.
Shep's in the show no matter what. He's trying to race his way in, but a difference of 1 row in starting spots. If he races his way in and finishes 3rd, James, the 3rd place car in this heat starts 18th. If he's the high points provisional, he would start 20th, and that would eliminate. That means Jason Jameson would have to race his way in the show. If Shep makes it in, that means Jameson is locked in trouble for Dennis Erb Jr., James.
Looks like he might have a tire. Oh, man, that was close. Trent Ivey, as they're told on the receiver, the caution is out. And Dennis Erb Jr., who led a heat race here last night until getting into the wall and a tire go down here. And he's going to bring it to the infield. So we've got 8 laps in the books tonight.
And that caution eliminates a 3.5 second lead Mason Ziegler had. And Ben and Mike, guys, in the infield, it's kind of like deja vu from the dirt late model dream when Mason Ziegler won the 6th heat and started on the pole and led the first 20-some laps.
Well, he's got a rocket ship right now. We'll see if it holds true on this restart as Dennis Erb Jr. makes his way into the hot pit down here. I got any new tire on that race car, and it has just not been his weekend, guys. It has been a lot of bad luck. But right now, Ziegler, who hasn't had much luck this weekend, leads the way. Spencer Hughes into 2nd, and Brandon Shepard now will be from 6th into position 3.
Down that Glen Elliott Green Lane. JL Industries, his father-in-law, Davey Johnson, Imperial River Transport. Heather Line down there changing that right rear on the reigning World of Outlaw Series champion. Spencer Hughes will be 2nd on the restart. It'll be Shepard, Gustin, Hoffman, Ivy, Weiss.
A good look at that right rear tire there being changed on Dennis Erb Jr.'s car. As he would rejoin the field, if they're able to get that changed in time, he would rejoin the field at the tail again, as you mentioned. 8 laps scored, 7 laps to go. James, let's take a look at the instant replay here and see what happened to Dennis Erb Jr. over in turns 1 and 2.
Running into 3rd spot. Well, Shepard had gotten around him there. No, the Shepard not around him yet. There is where the tire, right there, goes down and brings out a caution.
And you just saw parts of the tire shredding as well, guys.
Yeah, guys, just to make a mention on this tire roll, you know, we've seen a lot of right side stuff, but the tire roll is left rear 2 or 3, the right front is a 2 or 3, and then the right rear is 2, 3, or 4. So the team's got a lot of selection there, so I don't know if it's something they're trying to go too soft or, you know, try to get in this race or what's going on, but definitely a lot of tire issues this weekend.
Randy, you were kind of reading my mind. Talk about that just a little bit. We see more and more, and there's a good look at the tire there on the screen. We see more and more a lot of these guys going, and I hear talking the pits, maybe too soft in terms of, or too low in terms of the amount of air pressure put in some of these tires.
Yeah, I heard Hoosier and some of the guys talking about too much camber, which for everybody at home is just kind of how much they lay the right front tire in at the top. And you know, sometimes when you travel a lot, you have a lot more gain, and it'll wear inside the tire, outside the tire, depending on what you got going on there. So they're looking at that issue, you know, this new tire deal basically this year. So, you know, they're still working on making it better and trying to see what the teams need. But definitely, you know, anytime you can get a little advantage, if you could get by running one number softer, it's a big difference. But everything I seen last night was everybody's tire wore really, really well on the right rear. But you know, like several guys have talked, the track is definitely different tonight, and it is still really, really fast.
Man, that tire there wasn't just cut, James. That one was shredded, as we just saw. As the yellow lights have been turned off, green flag going to wave next time by. Again, 8 laps are scored, 7 laps remaining. The winner of this one starts on the pole of the World 100. It's been all Mason Ziegler since the drop of the green flag. He started up front in the dirt late model dream, trying to do it again here in September.
So if Shepard gets in, it would be Jason Jamison as the 2nd point provisional. As Ziegler rocketed to 1. Here comes B. Shep on the bottom out of turn number 2. Here comes Gustin up top. Down the back straight. They're trying to make it 3 wide. They do. And Ryan Gustin will go to 2nd. In the Talon Center, Crew Chief 19R. Great move, and we got a battle on back, and Shepard and Hughes did not need that restart because he's gone from 2nd to 4th. He's about to lose another spot. Here comes Hoffman into number 9 on the bottom.
Look at Nick Hoffman in that Ty Torrey Racing number 9. You're right, James. He's come from the 7th starting spot. Now to battle for one of those transfer positions. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th on your screen. And again, this happens 1.5 seconds behind your leader, Mason Ziegler. 5 to go.
Tell you, the last 2 heat races between Ziegler and O'Neill, that stays there, whether they're going to start on the front row. You know they're going to take off quickly here tonight in that 100 lapper as they go down the straightaway. Hoffman, Hughes, out at turn 2. It's still Ryan Gustin. Ryan Gustin, a great move on the restart to get the 2nd spot right now.
Yeah, and Ziegler, remember, he had a 3.5 second lead when that caution flag came out. He has maintained about 1.5 seconds once Gustin got up to 2nd. Brandon Shepard now tracking Gustin down, or trying to. As Shep runs 3rd, Hoffman remains on the outside looking in 4th. James this time by 2 laps to go for the 25C.
Brian Liverman, the crew chief on the 25C car. Mason Ziegler taking the low route down the back straightaway. Like he's lost a little bit of speed, Dustin Jarrett, but he still maintains a good advantage. White flag, 1 to go. Here comes Gustin, and here comes Shepard.
Gustin's closed in on him.
Ziegler, he slows in turn 2.
Well, he changed his line as well. He moved down to the inside, maybe getting signaled that he had a big enough of an advantage. He could try something out. Not going to matter. Mason Ziegler wins Heat 6. He'll start on the pole of the 53rd World 100. Ryan Gustin second, Brandon Shepard third. Those 3 drivers transfer in. 4th is Nick Hoffman, 5th is Spencer Hughes, and James unofficially, since Brandon Shepard raced his way in, unofficially Jason Jamison will get the 2nd high points provisional. 3rd spot goes to the B5 of Brandon Shepard, 2nd to the 19R of Ryan Gustin. And in the JLE Industries Green Lane 25Z, out of Chalk Hill, Pennsylvania. He's got to cross the scales and make it official. He wins heat race number 6. He'll start on the pole of the 53rd World 100. How about it, ladies and gentlemen, for Mason Ziegler?
You're right, Dustin Jarrett. He's been here before. He started on the pole. He's a 6-time World 100 starter, looking for his 7th. Little hot. Again, guys, he's got 3 wins, 2 at Bedford, 1 at Lernerville. They've totaled over $40,000. Mason Ziegler, congratulations. You've had 2 solid runs Thursday and Friday, but tonight you win the biggest race. You're on the pole, the 53rd World 100.
Yeah, I caught a break and caught that invert. Man, talk about a rocket ship. That's exactly what this thing is. I can't thank, my whole crew and everyone's part of this thing. Rocket Chassis, Coon Dog, Brian, Daryl, everyone's part of this thing. This thing's it's awesome, man. It's hard to hold myself back for this 100 laps because if it's like that, I'll just freaking run away with it. But I know the tires wouldn't hold up, so it's hard to hold yourself back when you got a car that good and not push it so hard. But like I said, we're not signaling right now, so I don't know how much of a lead I had. I could catch the TV every now and again. See, I didn't have anyone close, so I actually started letting up a little bit and moving around. But like I said, I can't thank everyone enough. It's part of this thing, all my sponsors. It's a blessing to be able to drive it.
Well, how about it, race fans? He's on the pole, the 53rd World 100. Let's hear you, Pennsylvania fans. Mason Ziegler does it.
All right, thanks a lot, Mike. Great job down there, everyone. Well, 20 starting spots for the World 100 have been secured. Do want to let you know this is the last call for 50-50. Last call for 50-50 tickets. Last call for online sales as well. Winner's share of the 50-50 now over $82,000. Let's make a big final push. If you're watching at home on FloRacing, don't go anywhere. We'll come back with B Mains right after this.
Weekend, it seems like we're at a racetrack somewhere, so we're living it, we're doing it. I think it helps us relate whenever they call. If they need more grip or they need more turn, we do it all the time.
We can relate to what they're saying. We're not just there to sell them this or that.
We're representing not just us, we're representing our vendors, our customers, our employees, so it's important to let them know that you care.
We want to provide the best things so they can have the best experience at the racetrack. That's what we want with our race car too.
When my grandfather started Winters Performance in 1958, he had one goal: building the best, strongest speed parts possible for his fellow racers. Today, nearly 65 years later, our family's still delivering on that goal. Day after day, race after race. We're in this for the racers. We're in it for the competition. We're in it for the win.
Are you looking for a new race car hauler, trailer, or easy-go golf cart? What about something dependable? How about buying from someone you can depend on? Contact Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts. They're a certified Featherlight dealer with all kinds of trailers and other products to fit your needs. Located just 2 hours north of downtown Indianapolis, Elliott's Custom Trailers will deliver your trailer or cart anywhere in the United States. No matter where you're from or what you're looking for, the goal is always the same: ultimate customer satisfaction. So don't wait. Contact Elliott's today and find a trailer or golf cart that fits your needs.
Dave Poske's Performance Parts has been serving the Ohio River Valley and racers from all across the country since 1978, and they are the home to Hoosier Tire, Ohio Valley, and Octane Race Products. Stop in and shop all of the nation's top brands, including Winners Performance, Willwood Brakes, Bill Stein Shocks, Hyperco Springs, Maxima Race Oils, Impact Safety Equipment, along with hundreds of others. You can also visit Dave Poske's Performance Parts online at Poske.com as we ship UPS and truck freight daily. Dave Poske's Performance Parts, serving the Ohio River Valley and racers all across the country since 1978.
The fastest growing name in the motorsports industry is the Racers brand of safety gear and apparel. Winners wear K1.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 53rd running of the World 100 here at Eldora. Well, our 6 traditional heat races are in the books. 20 starting spots have been locked in. The top 3 finishers from each of those 6 heat races, and unofficially, the 2 high point provisionals starting 19th and 20th. Again, that's unofficial. Would be Ricky Thornton Jr. in the 20 RT and the 12 of Jason Jameson. Well, the first of 2 20-lap B mains are getting lined up at this time. So those of you that are here on the grounds, this is not